Since this is the last little that I know before Christmas, I figured it'd be apropos for me to find out some things I didn't know about Christmas. So I sat down on a Zoom call with a so-called expert. But who exactly does this guy think he is?
My name is Eric Elnes. I'm the brother of Scott Elnes, and I also have a PhD in biblical studies from Princeton Theological Seminary. So I have some background in Christianity and have been a lifetime celebrator of Christmas. Well, one thing that people often don't know about Christmas is that December 25th is not likely the date of Jesus's birth. That was actually determined centuries later and was really corresponds to a couple of pagan festivals that were very popular at the time. So Christians thought, well, this would be a nice alternative to those festivals. If you were to take the account of Jesus's birth in, say, the Gospel of Luke seriously, where shepherds are out tending their flocks in the fields. Well, they didn't typically do that during the wintertime. So likely, if the Gospel of Luke is correct, then Jesus would likely have been born more probably in the spring or the fall.
And little did I know how the events of the first Christmas unfolded depends on which Christmas story you choose. That's right, there's more than one Christmas story in the Bible.
There are actually two Christmas stories in the Bible. One is in the Gospel of Matthew, and the other is in the Gospel of Luke. And when we, at Christmas time, we put together those Christmas nativity scenes with like shepherds and sheep and a manger, and we also have wise men and a star, over the manger. That's actually combining the two Gospels into as if they're one account, but actually Luke's account of the Christmas narrative knows nothing about magi or wise men arriving from the east or a star in Bethlehem, and Matthew's account knows nothing about shepherds tending their sheep or needing to stay in a manger in a stable in Bethlehem.
At number 3 on this list, let me ask you, how many wise men were there? Go ahead, give it some thought. Ready?
Most people say 3. But there actually is no number given in the Gospel of Matthew. We just know there are 3 gifts. So most people assume 3 wise men, but there could have been 30 or 300. They just simply had 3 gifts. And each one of those gifts is really symbolic of something of higher significance, like gold signifies Christ's kingship, and frankincense signifies how close to God he was, because frankincense was burned in the Holy of Holies in the Jewish tabernacle or the temple. And then myrrh is kind of a foreshadowing of Jesus's death, because that's what they used to cover his body after he was crucified.
And what kind of Christmas little did I know would it be if I didn't find out something that I didn't know about good old Kris Kringle?
Your Bend viewers may be and Pacific Northwest viewers may be interested to know that Santa Claus or Saint Nicholas is considered the patron saint of sailors and fishermen and lighthouses. And for your Bend viewers, he's also the patron saint of brewers. And they're not sure exactly why that is, other than a couple ideas. One is because a lot of miracles associated with him have to do with provision of food and drink for people who are poor. And of course, centuries ago, water was considered dangerous because of the bacteria that could be in it. And so actually beer was considered a safer alternative. And another reason could be because he's also associated with hospitality and generosity. And a lot of beer was being brewed in monasteries. And so that would make sense to associate him with the beer brewing in the monasteries.
Finally, I had to ask this so-called expert, as someone who's done a deep dive on Christmas, what's your favorite part?
Well, I love Christmas because it kind of helps me once again kind of refocus myself on why the coming of Jesus into the world is personally important to me. And I used to really kind of dislike some of the more secular aspects and all the gift giving and so forth. But actually, I've come over, the older I get, actually, the more I find that to be a wonderful thing as well. Not everybody is Christian, and yet it's fun to be able to have kind of the whole world, or much of the world celebrating at a time that's very special to Christians. So come one, come all. It's a wonderful day to remember who you love and to give kind of tangible objects of the love to others as well.
For Central Oregon Daily News, I'm Eric Elnes's brother. Merry Christmas!